Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for
Yes,
joining us.
sir.
If it's your first time, thank you for coming through. We really appreciate all the listeners, new and old, man, for sure. I'll introduce myself. My
hmm
name is Matt. I'm here with my co-host.
My name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our socials on Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube Shorts.
Yes, sir. Check us out everywhere we are, man. So usually, me
hmm
and Rod will chop it up about, anything that's on our mind. We have our solo episodes, but today we have a very special guest in the building. Go
For
ahead and
sure.
introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Yoshika, and I have a podcast called Gorl Friday. I also am a sex worker, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm in LA. Okay, anything else?
Hell yeah.
I know you guys are in Houston, right?
I'm in Houston.
Oh, you're in Houston.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm in
okay.
Michigan.
Michigan?
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's cool. I love that. I love that.
You ever been to Michigan?
No, I've never been to Michigan, but I met some girl who's from Detroit here, and she's like really cool. So,
I kind of want to get into just like what's been going on with you just recently.
with me,
Yeah, just what's been going on with you recently. How's everything going?
well, it's been going good. Like right now, I have a homie staying with me from Austin, and we're just like gonna make content together and support each other, like trying to make stuff and be creative or productive and whatever. But besides that, I'm just chilling. Like I I guess like doing content would be fun and cool if it gets going, but other than that, if not, then I'm kind of just chilling or like smoking or like enjoying
Okay.
life. So I'm just chilling. That's how things have been going, I guess.
Okay, cool. That's good to hear. So let's talk about smoking right quick then. So like what are you a blunt girl? You a papers girl, bong? Like what kind of how do you partake?
Yeah, I roll up like I guess hemp papers now or like a leaf. Like I need to smoke like some leaf or something that's burning.
What's that? Is that like backwoods or is that Swisher? Or...
Um, well, in California they just banned flavored tobacco products, so no vape pens,
What?
no
Oh, that's
flavored Swisher
crazy. It's hemp
sweets.
then.
Yeah. So I like Swisher sweets, but I like the silver or the greens, and they're able to sell those, so I'll smoke those for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, low key the flavors are kind of trash anyway. Like nobody wants a fucking white grape. Like who does that, you know?
Yeah, because it's like targeted towards kids that it's illegal. So
Mhm. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that they did that law. But yeah, let's get into so I kind of want to take it all the way back with you, Yoshika. So let's kind of talk about like where are you from originally and just, like how was your upbringing and like what was going on during your childhood?
okay, so I'm from Houston, born and raised, and
Oh, okay.
my parents divorced when I was like 4. But before that, we were all living like Southwest Houston, and then me and my mom moved to Northwest, which is like Spring Branch, and then grew up there. Then grew up in Katy, like in high school and middle school, and like Katie was like super white, but so I had to like tone down like my ghetto-ness and like just a bunch of um societal differences and upbringings, like different upbringings is what I witnessed. And just a lot of suburban life, a lot of like mom life, like soccer mom.
Okay.
um,
A lot of
but
Karens.
Yeah, a lot of caring.
So what age was this? Are you talking about elementary, middle school,
This was
high
like high
school?
school, like ending high school. Like and like high school, yeah, because I feel like in the 2000s we're all still a little like ghetto and cool, and then Hollister started like whitewashing us, and
Yeah.
like the later 2000s were like a little like more white. So,
Yeah, everybody want to be preppy and like do
yeah,
that like country
preppy.
club type shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was those high school years like?
High school? Okay. Well, I used to get bullied a lot, to be honest. Like, there would be girls that I didn't really talk to that didn't like me. Like, I remember these two twins, like, they went to my high school and they were like really popular and like white, and they were so beautiful, and like they hated me, and like they had the same birthday as me too, and they were like these two white twins like starting drama in the hallway with me. And we all have the same birthday. And I'm like, what are we doing? And then like a bunch of like guys would call me like ho, and like Hoshika, or like and I was
Damn.
actually never even fucking guys from my high school. Like I was like fucking guys from this other high school, and like I didn't even know my body yet. Like I didn't know how to orgasm or anything, so I was just like being like dumb, like fucking, and like honestly not even remembering, because it's like none of this was like a connection, or like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to come to like feel good and feel satisfied. That's like the result of like clinginess, or like weird, like I don't know, like what's going on here, or like heartbreak, or like whatever. And it was just like looking back, that's how my sex life was. But yeah, a lot of people from my high school would call me like hoe and like all this stuff, and like I literally would never, like one time they made a rumor up saying like I gave head in the staircase of the school, and I was like, what? I would never do that. Like I'm also really shy. And I was in soccer, and like my soccer coach like kicked me off the team because of that, and it wasn't even true.
Damn.
All right, let's pause this a little bit. So I'm just trying to figure out like how did these rumors even start off? Like what was like the first instance that you noticed that this conversation started happening amongst your peers?
I don't even know, dude. I think like they always, it's because I'm like a person of color. It's so like if I give off any type of sexuality, like that's times 10, first of all. And then it's like um for the girls, I don't know, like I just had random haters. Like I don't understand that, but like I don't know. And then for the guys, like I think just they just wanted to fuck me low key, and they were just like bullying me.
And this was just all throughout high school.
This is my high school experience, yes. In the end, I like lost a bunch of friends because I was like calling people. But honestly, I would get along with like a lot of nerds, or like the fucking more quieter, smarter people. Like they loved me and they rooted for me or protected me, or like
Mm-hmm. That's
I
good.
was
That's
like
good.
I was really good at
Did you want to be
math.
protected? Like
Like I was good at math. I just wanted to be supported and like seen or whatever. Like, felt like I feel like high school is very elitist, and like it's really weird and sexist, and like it's just a really weird experience. And then to say that you go through that for the real world is insane, because like that was torture.
so what about like at home? Like how was that?
At home, well, like my little sister, she's really like smart and such a good kid that like my mom was mainly focused on like raising her and like having a happy environment and family for her as normal as possible. So like my little sister and my stepdad and my mom would definitely like make it a point that their family dynamic was strong, and like I think that was like hard for me to handle sometimes, cuz like I felt not included or like weirded out. I'd be like, what? But um yeah, I like grew up and like forgave and kind of like worked on a lot of family stuff between me and my mom, but I just wanted to like leave the house. So I just like left in the middle of the night. I would be bad in the end. I would like leave in the middle of the night. Honestly, I got kicked out at 17, like towards like my senior year. I was like on a lot of stuff and like I got kicked out and like yeah, I just got a little apartment that was like 700 and my dad paid for it for like I think it was half a year. So,
And you never
and
went back?
then no, I decided I was like, I'm going to go to college in Austin. I need to get sober, which I did. I cut everything cold turkey, went to Austin. I was like, I need to do this so I can concentrate
Mm-hmm.
on like my college studies. And then I lived in Austin for 8 years and I was like a major in like radio, TV, and film and converging media and stuff like that. So
Okay,
now
super
I'm in
dope.
LA. Yeah, it's like a
Shout out
journey.
LA. Shout out LA. What made you go out to LA though? Like, was it just like that's the media capital to you, or you just kind of like the vibe there? Like, what was that decision like?
Well, after going to Austin, where I was allowed to be myself and be as weird or artsy or whatever as possible, I definitely got the courage to slowly make my way to LA. I mean, I first moved to San Diego, so I lived there
Okay.
for like eight months. And then now I just made the leap of going to LA because I was like, I'm missing Texas, and then I was like, well, what am I missing? And then I realized like, oh, I miss the ambition and the hustle in Houston, or like the creativity and like the art in Austin. And I was like, well, where can I go from San Diego? Because San Diego's like a vacation town. It's like a chill retirement, barely any traffic. Like it's nice. You go to the beach a lot type of town, but like there's no like fashion or hustle. Like there's no
Yeah.
energy for me to
No
like
drip.
catch on to. Yeah, I need like that energy around me. So I was like, well, where can I go? And I was like, I might as well just try LA, like to pursue my screenwriting and like, yeah, mainly that. But
Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram here. It said that you're a screenwriter, a model, a DJ. Are you
DJ,
doing all that right now in
I
LA?
want to start DJing. So I have a board and I practice a lot. I do model for a lot of like
What
photographers.
kind of board do you have?
I just have like a Pioneer Serato one.
That's the good shit.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what kind of music are you playing?
I play like I would say like dark wave, synth punk, like
Mm,
Mexican pop, electronic type of.
Who the hell is that?
that's a
Like,
genre.
what
It's
kind of music? What's
like dark
like?
wave. It's kind of like it sounds like 80s, like a dark wave or like synths or like the piano synths or like the synthesizers. So lots of like dude, like I don't even know how to explain it, and like
Yeah.
spooky little like I don't know synths or whatever, but then with electronic. So like there's uppers, but it's also just like a vibe where you're
Okay.
like, what's going on? I don't know.
Yeah. It's
Mm.
definitely some. I ain't gonna say rave music, but it's like some like you feeling good, like some of that type of shit. So like I kind of want to ask you before we get off like your upbringing. So like being from Texas, you never been like a country girl. Like you never been like, oh, I ride horses.
Yeah, I used to be like that in high school a little bit. Like I was definitely whitewashed in high school. I was held captive by these white people like mentally, and
Yeah.
I was a country girl. Like I listened to Jason Aldean or
Oh
like
my god.
Carrie Underwood, and like I didn't feel it wasn't that deep, but it was temporarily deep. So
Hmm.
that was
Okay, I feel
that.
that. I feel that. Let's kind of talk about because you had mentioned that you had went to school for radio communications or things like that. So does that translate to your podcast, which is Gorl Friday? And like, is that translate, or is that what made you want to get into podcasting?
For sure. I didn't recognize that that's where it would lead me to automatically. But eventually, like, I just had some people say they liked my voice and then that I should have a podcast because I'm always like talking shit on IG or like being stupid, being weird, or like getting to the bottom of things culturally. Like, I would say I'm an anthropologist in some sense, and like I like dissecting why things happen and like the culture and the inappropriation of certain things, or the whitewashness of it all, or like just weird shit, the psychological like need behind things, and like I don't even know the survive. I don't know, but yeah, so I started a podcast when I moved to LA. I was like, well, I'm just gonna start one. And then I was like trying to create a cover and doing all this stuff. So yeah, it definitely ties into that because I'm like, oh, it makes sense, radio, TV, and film. And I did want to apply at radios at some point in Houston, and like almost made it to CBS or something. I don't even know, but then didn't. It was weird. So yeah, never made anything happen there in radio sense.
When was your first instance of fame or celebrity or influencer that you had that opportunity? Did your parents ever submit you for pageant shows or modeling agencies or anything like
Oh
that?
my
Or
god, no, I wish. I'm just kidding. No, I don't. Those things are crazy. It's like
Yeah.
pimping out your children, but I wish I started off in pageants and like modeling it. Just kidding. No, no, didn't do that. I My first encounter with a celebrity was never through pageant or like something where it was set up for me through my family or anything like that. My first encounter with a celebrity, though, I don't even know. Like during South by, so many people perform in Austin, and like they have to get to their next show, and so everyone's crossing paths. I feel like in
Hmm.
Austin, during South by especially, and I feel like there, like I took a picture with Jordan Woods once before all that happened, like when she was a baby, like a baby, and like that was weird. Or like, yeah, like I've reached out to celebrities honestly, and they've replied, or like yeah, like I've been around some, I guess, in some scenes, but like not. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. And I also want to ask you this about your podcast too. So like how when you had first started, like how did it? What was that process of like getting comfortable, talking on the mic and getting comfortable on camera? Is that something that like you struggle with, or was it something that clicked like automatically for you?
Yeah, these are such good questions. Like, thank you for having me on because I'm usually asking, but
Of course.
for sure it's been like a learning experience trying to figure out my voice. Like at first I remember being like setting up a trailer and saying, "Hi guys, like welcome to my body." And I was like, "Oh my god." Like now looking back at it, I'm like, "Oh my god, I didn't need to be that extra. Like fuck that. I kind of want to be chill." And then obviously my audio recordings sound way better than like my fucking video ones, because my
Mm,
video ones I'm like looking at my guests and I'm like, okay, she looks cute, or I'm like checking the time, or like um I'm just like worried about different details. I'm like, how much longer do we have? Are we going over time limit? And like it's too much. And like I have ADHD, so I'm like, wait, what did she say? And so I learned audio a lot and put a lot of effort into that, and I appreciate the audio versions of my podcasts a lot, and they definitely took time to like curate.
all right, so Girl Friday was a very peculiar podcast that I noticed. You bought people of different cultures, like LGBTQ. It seemed like. Also, you brought on sex workers. Um, is that what you're trying to go for with the platform there?
Yeah, so at the beginning, I was trying to interview, sex workers, anyone who does like an odd job. So whether it's like an artist of any sort, like a drummer, or like for the girls, it ended up being like, oh, I'm a stripper, or I am an escort, or like I'm a foot girl, and I would just like come across different types of people not doing regular jobs, and that was like my main goal. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's a foot girl? What does that mean?
So yes, I do plan on supporting sex workers for sure. Yes, that's like my main thing. I support like femmes and BIPOC. But so a foot girl is so foot fetishes are usually correlated with like a submissive dominant role. So usually
Mm-hmm.
subs have foot fetishes, like guys that like to be dominated and treated like shit. So when a foot girl is a foot girl, she's like a goddess or a
Mm-hmm.
foot girl. And so they can give foot jobs. They can like let you sniff their feet, step on them. There's like stompers and like
Stompers is crazy.
sniff their feet, spit on them, like put them on a leash.
Mm-hmm.
Or like it could go to like the extremes, like pegging them, punishing them, slapping them, and like in return though, they like love and worship your feet, and like they're crazy.
Okay,
Okay.
that's real. And you said stompers. Like, can you?
Yeah, they'll
I'm
stomp,
sorry.
step on
Stomp what?
you. Their
Stomp what though?
feet on
But what?
on your face. There's trampoliners where you're jumping on them.
That's crazy. I'm not sex shaming though, but that's really interesting because I never heard of that before in my life. That's really interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot to
Now,
unpack in that fetish, like psychologically, and like honestly, what they're really looking for a girl to do. Like, what are they trying to look for in our brains during this
yeah.
One thing that I always
session?
wondered was like after you do it once and it's crushed, like how does a guy do it after his balls are already crushed the first time? Like you're trampolining on their balls, right?
Oh,
Like
trampolining? Yeah, so I
like
haven't done that yet. I haven't done that yet. So I just know that those are the extremes of their rewards, the rewards that they like. And there's levels to it, and the girls have done that, but I never jumped on someone's balls.
Sounds painful. Sounds
Have
very
you jumped
painful.
on someone's balls?
twice.
Okay. My friend has done it twice over here, so I don't know.
Really?
I need to
That's really
interview him.
I don't know. That's crazy. So I mean, since we already kind of talking about, your sex work and just sex work in general and just, people that's out here. So let's kind of talk about the OnlyFans venture and just kind of like what was that decision like? Was it something that was easy for you to be like, boom, let's do this? Was there any uncomfortability with, putting yourself out there in that way?
Yes, there's a lot of vulnerability with putting myself out there in that way. And I started like during the pandemic, like the early stages of the pandemic, where like we were about to go on lockdown and like no one could believe it, and the numbers were rising and like the everything was getting crazy. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember being like, because I was a dancer at the time in Austin, and
Mm-hmm.
I remember saying like, oh my God, like if I can't go dance, how am I gonna make money? And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And OnlyFans was so new. Like the girls have heard like of OnlyFans in the back of our ears here and there, but it was never like a hustle to be really like, we're all in it, bitch. Like no, it was just
Mm-hmm.
like a maybe she has an only. And so I was like, what am I gonna do? Start an OnlyFans? Like, and I said it as a joke to my friends, and they were like, bitch, you should, like the way the economy is right now, I don't know. And so I
Yeah.
made my friend that's married, she was like, dude, you should do it. Like, she was like rooting for me. I was like, okay, if you're saying that, then I gotta get on it. And then, yeah, I made one during the pandemic. Then a lot of girls started making it. And I also remember just like, I guess I got to explore my sexuality making OnlyFans, which was good, but it is a lot of vulnerability. Like, good thing I did it while I was like 24, 20, yeah, 24, I'm 28. So I was like young enough to just be like, okay, I am hot. But now it's like getting harder. There's like levels. No,
Really? It's
no,
levels.
because but you get hot, like as an older, you get a different type of hotter. So it's kind of cool to
Mm-hmm.
explore that. But it's a lot of work and it's a lot of vulnerability, and a lot of guys don't take that into consideration. Like they think we're like straight up robots, and it's like, dude, I'm putting my ass on the line here, and I'm like doing
Literally.
research and marketing development and like
Mm-hmm.
security strategies and like sexual like studies and like
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally doing the most to like sexually satisfy society, and I feel like every OnlyFans girl has that pressure on them, and a lot of people get a good recipe going, which is usually like collabs with bigger people. And so then they reach out to a bunch of markets through those people that have a bunch of people, outreach. But for me, like it's been like my sexuality, like my ex-boyfriends or like who I'm fucking or like a guy that I have fucked that I have chemistry with
Mm-hmm.
or like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like customers that I have sessions with, like for foot jobs, or I'll be like, can I record this really quick? Or like, can you record me doing this? Like, I like to just tease and record that instead.
And so like how like so let me ask you a question about that. Like so when you do try to like, get somebody to be on there with you, are people receptive of that, or like how do people react to it? Is it
I
mostly
don't
yes?
really I don't really try and do that. That's so awkward for me to ask, like, will you get on here with me? And like, and if
Yeah.
I do, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have to really love you. Like, and we have to have like good magical sex for me to know that what we're about to put on camera should be witnessed. And like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's a part of my sexuality right now. And I want people to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But so when I do ask, I don't feel embarrassed. I'm like, okay, we need to record this. But I feel weird asking. And then I know that a lot of guys say that a lot of girls ask. And so sometimes if it's like a hookup that I appreciate, I'll ask. But the guys, like, they'll say no.
Let me take it back to something you said before too. How you were dancing, excuse me, you were dancing, and then you just started the OnlyFans. Like, do you feel like OnlyFans might have fucked the strip game up a little bit, or is it still
I
alive
think
and well?
I think the strip game is a little outdated. Like culturally, we went from, and I love the idea of getting like a skinny BBL or whatever. Like I love like big ass and like a skinny waist. Every girl wants that. But I feel like the strip club that we went into like strong was like that type of BBL, also like pre-pandemic music, like hustle culture music and like the certain twerks. Like I feel like they're kind of getting outdated. Like they're beautiful to see and witness, but if you think about stripping like in the 60s, it was way different, or like 70s, and like
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
definitely feel like I like the strip clubs with more diverse like queer people and just like ethereal looking sexy people. Like I like strip clubs that let you have the freedom of like not being pretty but being hot in your own way, and like standard pretty, like. And so I think those are sexier, but there's not a lot of clubs that have the freedom of doing that. So
So maybe they should kind of switch it up and kind of go towards what you're saying, because you're saying it's a little outdated. How it's just like, but I mean, it is impressive. If you've seen that, it's a video I seen where this girl went from the top to the bottom of the pole. Like it was a high ceiling. Like it's impressive. But
yeah.
so you're
I've
saying it
seen
just
that. I've seen that in real life.
in real life, really?
Yeah, right in Puerto Rico. Go from the
Ah,
top.
Nice.
to the bottom.
That's hard. That's hard though. But okay, that's real interesting. I
It's
feel
And
like
then
hard.
someone just threw like a bunch of racks just on the stage, like
As they should. Okay. To
definitely,
do all that.
definitely.
Whoever wants
Did,
to throw money is appreciated.
so how did you deal with that though? Like we'll get off this in a minute, but like so when you were dancing, like was it how did you deal with people not really supporting and not really like throwing ones like that? Like was it just something you just like, all right, well, okay, I'm just gonna stop, or did you confront them?
No, everyone threw money all the time, whether it's $1 or two, put it in my little thong.
Okay,
And
okay.
like some people came through a bunch of money. That's what they love doing. Some people would show support, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what. Like, and so it always counts and it's fun. Or like some girls love to tip for the guy. They're like, oh, she's hot. And so every
Mm-hmm.
encounter is like different and nice. And I appreciate tippers for sure.
Okay,
Any tip
dope.
is welcome.
Yeah, dudes, if you listening, please tip at the strip club. Like I don't know what y'all doing if you are not. But
Yeah, even one or two for the beauty or whatever you
mhm,
see, like the entertainment, the sparkle, the makeup, the whatever effort you've noticed.
absolutely. So back to OnlyFans a little bit. So I don't know. I just kind of want to know how you deal with, or do you even hear like the stigma that people have with people that's on OnlyFans? Like, how do you deal with that, or what kind of stuff do you hear?
Well, what do you guys hear? Like, what do you guys hear about the stigma?
That's a good question. I think
Yeah, I want to
that
know.
people, yeah, I think that people think it's like some bullshit. I mean, I've heard men say like, "Oh, women can make money doing anything." They could make money showing off their bodies. Or I've heard dudes say like, she automatically a hoe if she getting on OnlyFans and stuff like that. So that's kind of the stigma that I hear. You know what I mean? It's really
Mm-hmm.
just kind of putting them down. But to me, I feel like, hey, get your money. You know what I mean? Like that's a stream of income.
so you'll be good with your girl doing that? That's what you're saying?
Um,
Get your money?
I don't know. We talked about this before. I don't. I mean, possibly. I don't want to be on there with her, but I will consider. Like that. That's. I feel like it's the woman's choice. If that's what she really want to do, like do what you want to do. You know what I mean? But so like, I mean, from what I just said, like, do you hear those same kinds of things, and like, how do you combat that when you hear those things, or do you even try to?
Um, I love these headphones. I'm glad that my headphones work and that I get to use them with you guys.
Yeah. She got on like Hello Kitty headphones for the listeners.
Yeah, my little
Wait, is
gamer
that lights?
headphones.
Is that lights in there? Like, is lights in the ears?
Yeah, there's lights in the ears, which I didn't know.
Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, I hear those types of things too. Like, I guess, like, oh, she has an OnlyFans, like, she's don't take her seriously, or like, she's mentally ill, or like,
Damn.
she's a hoe, obviously, right? That's inappropriate. Or like, she does that for money, like, she's dumb. And like, I don't know, like, or like, yeah, as a boyfriend, if
No,
you're, well, what? I'm not arguing. I'm just telling you the stigmas that I'm hearing.
no, I'm not arguing it.
Okay.
It's just that like, okay, we understand what everyone else say, but we want to know what you think about it.
Okay. I think like the stigmas, or what I think about
What do you
OnlyFans in
think
general.
about people having those stigmas on you? Does it bother
Well,
you? Does it?
first of all, it's a lot of work. It's not just like post ass. Like I said, there's a lot of analytics and marketing that we have to do, and we have to figure out how not to get shadow banned and like reported or flagged, and we have to start accounts all over again, and like risk us being seen by putting like little pictures of us on Twitter or Reddit. And there's just a lot of like, yeah, risk of putting yourself out there publicly. But if you're doing it right and doing it consistent, the numbers that you get, like, yes, it is hard work. So doing hard work, it doesn't seem like hard work, because at the end of the day, you see us like cute and naked. But like to get there, we had to like operate a whole psyops on like the government pretty much, and like show just to show you my ass.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, I feel like people should appreciate every girl more. I do think like sometimes I'm like, fuck, like, well, like I said, my OnlyFans is more based off my natural romantic sex life. I don't know. There is also the stigma of a boy not wanting to date me because I'm a sex worker. So that kind of sucks because like no one's really interested in locking this down because I'm not a susceptible woman. Like
I,
I don't know.
I feel like that's like probably the case because since you're with so many people, it
Hmm.
doesn't seem like you even want to be in a relationship if you're doing that line of work. Like, why would you want to be in a
Yeah,
relationship and you in with a bunch of people?
I
So
don't
it's like
know.
it. So it's like
I
this
guess they're
person probably don't want to be in a
right.
relationship.
I know.
I mean, but a relationship ain't all about sex, to be honest. So, I mean, that's
Hmm.
if you look at it like that's
Exactly.
yeah. If you look at it as like that's how my girl is working, like that's her job. I guess but I feel like a lot of dudes like we're jealous and we're insecure. So
It's because we
that's
haven't
probably what it is.
gotten there yet, but it
Mm-hmm.
sucks that
What?
we have to. It's because we haven't gotten to like a deeper understanding of sex and intimacy and like relationships. We don't have a healthy dynamic in the United States towards anyone.
So I did kind of want to talk about, like what is there politics? Like I know you were talking about like trying not to get shadow banned and trying to like place your stuff in the very right place so you can get noticed. Like what's the politics like, you being, a Latino woman, like a Mexican woman? Is it crazy out there for y'all?
It's crazy out there. First of all, Reddit, I'm like one of the few Latina girls on Reddit because all the Reddit girlies, their hacker white boyfriends have already helped the white girlies get all their stuff on there and get the cream of the crop.
Hmm.
And so when I'm on there, like I see some Cuban girls or Colombian girls, I'm like, okay, girl, like you made it to Reddit. Cool, cool, cool.
Hmm.
Like, but it's a really hard, intricate system, like a social media or whatever. And different
Hmm.
types of social medias have different algorithms that are working against you or for you. And also shadow bans like on Instagram. Like it sucks that an OnlyFans girly, especially a person of color or whatever, can't really shake ass or put that on their story. I mean, not that we're doing that because Instagram has literally conditioned us, we can't do that there.
For
But
sure.
like
Yeah.
it's kind of fucked up because celebrities are constantly shaking their ass in music videos and shit and also on Instagram and like they don't get shadow banned because they're celebrities, but it's the
Hmm.
same. It's like an entertainer. And I'm just so confused. Like it sucks in that sense. It sucks in the algorithms of some apps because some of them favor white people. And it just
They
the
do.
list goes
All of them
on.
do.
I mean, now
Go
that
to.
Elon owns Twitter, like who knows how he's helping out NSFW posts or like making it also beneficial for women because the also promotion through Twitter and Reddit is honestly just for the male advantage. Like all these guys have free porn on Twitter and Reddit, and of course it's enticing, especially if you like a girl in the porn video. You're gonna
Hmm.
subscribe because yeah, like she got your heart. Cool, like we
Hmm.
made it. But like all
Yeah.
that is so much free content that you guys have access to, and I'm like, fuck, like these guys scammed us, and like there's definitely a lot of politics and algorithms and racism and AI technology and shadow banning and NSFW criminalization, sex work criminalization online.
Hmm. That kind of sucks. Like, so to navigate it, what do? You just kind of just try to keep like, I don't even know how you would navigate that because the algorithm is going to be the algorithm. Like what's the
You
plan?
just have to try the best, be
Well,
consistent, be smart, make good quality posts.
I feel like to play devil's advocate a little bit. Where does this algorithm that you say come from?
Uh,
Like, why do you feel like there's an
oh,
algorithm?
honestly, so I don't know. I think of these things subconsciously, but there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people of color who have tested this theory as well because it's evident that a lot of content creators are mainly white. There's
Hmm.
even been people of color content creators that have gone on like trips with all white content creators and like
Okay.
have told their experience on how weird they've treated them, like how much of an outcast that they made them feel like. And I definitely feel that there's like we're getting robbed by white people in front of our face, and they're taking our culture and they're
Damn.
gentrifying all these locations, and they're doing it in front
I
of
fuck
our
with
face.
that though. They are robbing our culture.
They're literally robbing us like an open site, and like especially online, like on social media is so powerful because of the numbers and the engagement that you can reach. There's
Okay.
so many men in this world. If I got like 2% of them or whatever to just subscribe to my OnlyFans, I'd have a shit ton of money to just survive in this world.
For
And
sure.
so like there's numbers to this.
And then
there's
what?
people.
I gotta ask a question though. Once you get that 2%, then what?
Well, I don't really care if I get the 2%. I'm not worried about that. But there are content creators.
Okay. What
that
about
are mainly
1%?
white. If I had a big following, like if I were that content creator, I'd use my platform. Yeah, I'd use it for OnlyFans. Whoever likes me can sign up. Cool. I also use it to like promote small businesses, small people, because that's like redistributing wealth, which is what they don't want. Like they want to keep us into this.
So you're saying you will post like your sexy pictures in porn, and then you would start posting like small businesses once you got up?
Well, I would promote them with like clothes or what I eat or whatever the fuck, or like interview them, or like use to be truly artistic for sure. That would just have the link. But I'm saying I had a big audience on like Instagram, for example. I'd post a lot of content that's not NSFW, but I would have a link and benefit off that as well. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because you kind of spoke about the artistic aspect, and I was kind of wondering, like you said, there's a lot that goes into creating this content for OnlyFans, for the internet. How much of the artistic value do you consider when you're making these videos and taking these pictures? Like, is this something that's like a big deal to you, or do you just like how is that?
So first of all, honestly, if you're a guy, you should make OnlyFans for real. First of all, if you're a guy, because as a guy, dude,
the thing is, like, as a guy, like I can't like sell my underwear. I can't sell my socks.
Dude, you can. They want it.
But you can. Like,
most of my fans are asking for like certain shaped penises and colors to be inside of me, and I'm like, I thought you were my fans. Like, you want all that? You want them? Okay, but guys.
So I gotta ask a question.
There's a percentage of guys that subscribe to a guy creator. Like they also make bread.
How much could I make for my underwear?
I'm sure someone would pay $100 at least.
$100. That's it?
Really?
You gotta find it. I don't know. I'm not the market, but I could see 100.
I thought that was a little light. I thought I was expecting at least 1,000. But all right.
I'm sure you can find it. I could see it. I could see your finesse skills. It just has to do with you.
It's all a finesse, really.
It's a finesse of yourself, like or someone that likes your energy for sure. But so for artists, like what I invest in the things for OnlyFans, like I feel like girls invest a lot. We get outfits, toys, makeup, fucking just so much. I don't even know. Like I can't. Yeah. Makeup, outfits, and that's a lot. Like a makeup product, like a blush is like $50. And then this is like 70. And then this is like skincare, probably like facials, Botox, like honestly a lot, like any alterations to your body. Like we definitely invest a lot to make an OnlyFans. Photo shoots, sometimes they're $300, $400. Outfit, yeah.
Now, like, how do you prepare? Like, is it like you got to listen to music before you do this shit, or is it sound like if sometimes it's like spur of the moment? Like, but how do you prepare to like do a shoot?
Sometimes what me and my friend like doing now is like renting a hotel for a day for
Mm-hmm.
like 180, 150, like a nice one, or like 200, 250, 300, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And splitting it, and then we'll just make content all day. And we'll just like take cute pictures in different outfits and like shake our asses or do like feet stuff or like play with our toys or like of course we drink, we smoke. It's a little stressful. It's a lot of content to be made. Like sometimes it'll be natural, just me in my room listening to music, like getting cute and then setting up my camera and
Are you into signs and like when's your birthday and
signs.
all that stuff?
Like astrology.
What are you?
Yes. I'm an Aries. What are
Do you?
you?
What does the Aries mean, Matt? You really into that?
I don't fucking know. I have no idea.
What are you guys?
I'm the most hated by all women. I'm a Cancer. Rod, what are
Oh,
you?
nice.
Rod?
All right, so we got an Aries and a Cancer. So what's that mean?
I don't know. What are you though? Like, I don't fucking know.
Oh, I'm a Libra.
What are you? Libra? You little sneaky sneak. You're just out there acting like you don't know what's going on. You're the Libra, the one who's been like, yeah, my mic isn't working. And like, you're hiding your
so,
communication skills.
so is that something that you take into account like on a day-to-day basis, or do you even know like the characteristics of an Aries? Like, how do you feel about that?
I'm an Aries. I'm the baby zodiac. I'm the first zodiac. I am the first one that comes. So I'm like the leader of the zodiacs, but I'm the youngest
Wow.
one. Like I'm the baby leader. But so as I get older, I grow into my wisdom, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like innocent until then. And like I see it like my friends are evil and I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? And and like they know I'm like not stupid, like I'm just like innocent, but I do have my moments. Like Aries will they consider us fiery, but I think it's because we like take in so much abuse and then we like freak out.
Mm-hmm. Holding all that shit in, and it's like when you get, yeah, that makes sense.
I want
Um,
to switch the conversation a little bit. Do you consider yourself being pussy positive? Like as Amber
Pussy, what
Rose
does
would
that
say she
mean?
does. How Amber Rose has her slut walk.
Oh hell yeah! I saw that interview, and I was like, hell yeah! And I posted it from my Twitter to IG, and then everyone started posting it the next day. But also on TikTok, the caption was like, Amber Rose said she doesn't care, and it's like that's not even like the importance of what. Like she said, like it was like the context, and I was like, what? And it turns so many
I
guys
fuck with Amber
against
Rose.
her. It was crazy. But yeah, if it's pussy positive Amber Rose, I support that 100%. Yeah, if someone wants to do whatever they want with their vagina, they definitely should. It's their body part. Just like you could do whatever you want with your dick. And like, I would hope no one fucking restricts you and like your dick and like what you can do with it. That sounds, I mean, unless it's like rape or non-consensual, but like, I don't know. It's because men have already been allowed to do a lot. And I feel like as women, like, we're like,
You think we have been allowed to do a lot?
yeah, that like the more that y'all want to do is like just extremes of things y'all haven't done. But like, yes, you guys have been able to do a lot.
I don't think
I
so.
think you don't think so?
No, I don't agree.
Well, as far as your body autonomy, you have been, but as far as your maybe love autonomy or like emotional side, maybe you have not explored that side yet, or like certain things we lack due to society's conditioning for sure. But I think
Okay.
you have a lot of.
How did we get out of that?
You're asking the wrong person. Okay.
Let's take it here. Like, I want to kind of end on a. I don't know. I thought this shit was funny when I heard about this shit. Do you know who? Are you familiar with Glorilla?
Glorilla, yeah.
Yeah, so Glorilla, she's a super dope artist out of Memphis. Good rap artist and stuff like that. I think,
Fire.
yeah, she's super dope. And so
Fire.
she had made like I don't know where this came up. I think she might have been on like there's a podcast called Lip Service with Angela Yee, where they usually kind of talk about sexual topics and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And she said that she likes for her dude to like come on her fries and she'll eat the fries. Like
I
that was
saw that clip.
yeah.
Okay, y'all are y'all are lucky I follow like all these press media news outlet stories on my podcast page because I come across all these crazy podcasts and like PR videos and they're so crazy and funny. But yeah, I saw that one. I think she was just unleashing her little inner freak because they were talking about another freaky thing that she didn't recognize. And then they
Hmm.
asked her like, well, what's the freakiest thing she's done? And then she answered saying like that weird, like crazy thing. But like I said, you never know what types of freak you are with certain people. Like certain people you connect with, and it's like something that like is unstudied and like you
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
explored and unlocked. So like for her, I think she was fucking just like feeling herself and that guy and like their
Yeah.
chemistry, whatever. But yeah, it's like girls getting together, just unlocking and talking about their sexuality, which is really good.
Is that what you do with your podcast? When I seen your YouTube shit, it seemed like you were like on a set.
I have a studio in Austin called Dawa Studios, and they help people of color record their podcast there or record a DJ set or a performance of some sort. Like they have a studio in Austin where they let people of color do that. And I applied to one of their grants and I got accepted out of like 100, like or 10,000 people or like 100,000. Like it was a good number. And yeah, they picked me. So I've recorded video ones in their studio and with like headphones.
You just did like a
mic.
bunch of episodes, right?
Yeah. Like 3. I did 3 episodes that week. I was in Austin. But I live in LA, so I don't really have anyone that sponsors me in LA to like record whoever in a nice space.
I want to
Yeah.
talk about like a past episode that you had on your girlfriend podcaster. Is that what it is called?
Gorl
Gorl
Friday.
Friday. Yes.
Girl
Yes.
Friday podcast? Yeah. You had a guy on and he was talking about how Yeezy stole his ideas.
Mhm.
And I was just kind of very interested. I was listening to that. I listened to the entire podcast because I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out like how did this whole thing start and then how it ended. And I like how you really transitioned that throughout that entire podcast to try to get to the answer. But I want to know, did you really believe Yeezy stole his ideas, or
I
you
do.
think? Because like throughout the interview, when I was listening, I was like, you didn't really say if you say, oh yeah, okay, I think you did, or I think he didn't. So I wasn't sure.
Well, we had recorded an episode like 3 weeks before the one I released, and that one was like corrupted, like you couldn't hear
Mm.
shit. So I was like, I have to interview him again. And honestly, by that time, he was already on all these other podcasts talking about it. Like he was on a roll. Like he was honestly really mad when we first talked about the situation, like more passionate and like mad at Yeezy. And like then when I actually interviewed him, it seemed like he was trying to come with terms with what had happened. And he was like, I mean, and he was kind of like making excuses for him or something like that. Like not excuses, but he was being more like caring about the situation when he shouldn't have.
Can we go a little bit more into specifics, though? Can we go to more specifics of what exactly do you feel like was stolen?
He had so he's a fashion major, and I don't know, there's terms to like certain items that you design, you make them, you produce them, and they're part of your collection. So they're an item, like they're already your item. So he had a bunch of those types of items that were his line already produced for his line, and ideas executed, everything. I forgot what they're called though. But he had a bunch of those items, and he met up with Yeezy's crew. I forgot the guy's name. Do y'all know who I'm talking about?
I'm not sure the name either. No,
It's at the tip of my tongue.
not Virgil.
Whatever. One of his main associates pretty much invited him to like this Yeezy church thing. He showed up,
Hmm.
saw him the first, said hi bye, and then he saw him another time and gave him the stuff. And when you look at the pictures of like the glasses, like all those Yeezy glasses, I think they definitely obviously have a strong resemblance to what Frankie created. And
Hmm.
what Frankie creates is so curated, and like no one thinks of these ideas but him. Like, because each designer, like a real small designer, has like certain things about him that are very influential, and people take and make different products with it.
Hmm.
And it's like property, like intelligent property, or I forgot what it is. Like a lot of designers are struggling with it because there's some really unique designers that will come up with a certain thing and then boom, because they already see that like
Mm.
trend or wave or pattern somehow, and people could see that too. Like we're not like, we like fashion, we like things, we like visually appeasing things, and like yeah, a lot
Hmm.
of designers struggle with intellectual property getting stolen.
So when you're doing your content, do you try to do anything different with your content? Like, how do you feel like you're different from anyone else?
I'm definitely not different. In most ways, I'm the same, and in most ways, I do a lot of creative shit for sure. I will give myself that. But I try and do sexy photo shoots myself, people that I have meetups with that are okay with me recording it if I think it's sexy or I look
Hmm.
hot. And then my intimate life, do like to record it if it's like an experience that I'm into. I want to do more content in the sense that I want a bigger apartment so I can do more at home cute content and be like have a good feminine presence and like be like chilling in my fucking castle and like show that like with my plants and like
Hmm.
like I do
Hmm.
want a bigger apartment as far as like making better content.
Let me ask you one more question right quick too, and we're about to, get up out of here. You've been gracious enough
Yeah.
to, speak to us, and I want to ask one more question based off what you just said. So you kind of talked about you want to have your own apartment and shoot content on in your like a new place to shoot stuff, right? But like, is there ever any danger of
Mm-hmm.
like you seeing somebody seeing like your background and knowing where you stay at, and just kind of like maybe stalkers and stuff like that? Have you experienced any of that with OnlyFans?
I don't know. I've never gotten a stalker. Don't scare me. Don't scare me because,
Um,
like, I don't know. I trust guys, but I also screen them.
okay.
But I trust guys way too much to be like, okay, yeah. I definitely take precaution and like who I'm meeting up with and shit like that. But you never know. You're right. And I'm actually writing. Never mind. Never mind.
Okay. You don't want to
Yeah,
speak on it
like I
yet?
don't want to manifest that. I'm saying
Okay.
I don't want to
Okay.
manifest that, but that would be crazy. I wouldn't even know what to do.
Okay. Damn, I didn't mean to put that in your mind right now. My bad.
Right?
But okay.
That's scary.
Right. Okay. So yeah, but so I guess just to wrap it up, so like, what can we expect from Yoshika, like, content wise, or just like any big moves that you plan on doing, 2023 and beyond?
So I plan on being on 2 more podcasts from these people that have a podcast in Austin. So
Hmm.
2 Austin podcasters are interviewing me. I look forward to that. I also, like I said, I'm looking for my new apartment. So better types of content, like whether it's in the kitchen or like a bigger living room and better light. And like
Hmm.
also bathtub videos. I just want different cute aesthetics. So that's gonna come soon. Hopefully I get a boyfriend. I'm looking for a boyfriend. I'm taking boyfriend applications. And hopefully I
Okay.
can
Okay.
find someone like that I can make a bag with or something.
Okay, okay. Sounds good. Well, but yeah, so we'll go ahead and post, everything, Yoshika related in the description box. But like I said, we appreciate you for coming through and speaking to us today. Like it was definitely a dope conversation. I guess any last words before you get
Thank
up out of
you
here?
guys. Thank you guys for interviewing me and taking the time to listen to all my like little pointless dumb rants. Appreciate it.
No, absolutely. It was great. It was great having you. So, folks,
Absolutely.
that has been this episode of the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for listening, and we out.
Peace and love.